human has been neutralized. Intruder alert.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Papa Brad's Gaming, your go-to channel for all things retro and arcade. Today we're diving into a forgotten gem from the late 80s arcade scene. A game you might not know, but definitely should. Let's take a look at XYBOTS. XYBOTS was released by Atari in 1987, at a time when arcades were filled with all kinds of innovative games. But XYBOTS stood out with its unique combination of third-person action and maze-crawling mechanics. It's a game about navigating futuristic mazes, destroying robots, collecting power-ups, while trying to escape a deadly trap. You play as one of two Space Marines, whose mission is to eliminate and destroy the XYBOTS and escape a series of complex mazes. The game's isometric view and innovative turning controls were ahead of its time, bringing a new level of depth to arcade shooters. So let's break down what makes XYBOTS so special. First off, it's a two-player cooperative game, which was a huge draw back in the day. You and a friend could team up to blast XYBOTS and navigate the labyrinth together. Here's another cool part. The game introduced a rotating feature using a joystick that lets you turn 90 degrees left to right. This gave XYBOTS a first-person shooter feel, despite being a third-person game, making it a hybrid experience that was pretty unique for the time. You're not just running around shooting robots, you have to navigate the maze, find keys, collect coins for upgrades, and manage your energy. If you run out of energy, it's game over. Graphics-wise, XYBOTS was no slouch either. It has colorful visuals, detailed mazes, and a distinct art style that really gave it that 80s sci-fi vibe. Felt like you were exploring a cybernetic world full of enemies out to get you. Let's talk about the sound, because in an arcade, sound mattered just as much as visuals. XYBOTS had those classic 80s beeps, boops, and mechanical sounds you just don't hear anymore. The laser sounds when you shoot a XYBOT and the mechanical hum when they come after you, it really helped to immerse you in the game's world. Now, XYBOTS might not be as famous as some of Atari's other titles, but it's a game with serious replay value. Each level represents a new maze with different layouts and enemy patterns. The cooperative gameplay really shines if you can find you and a friend to work together to beat the XYBOT menace.
One intruder destroyed.
So why should you check out XYBOTS today? Well, if you're a fan of early 3D gaming mechanics, XYBOTS was a fantastic example of how the industry was experimenting with new ideas in the late 80s. It's got that retro charm, solid gameplay, and is a great reminder of what made arcades so special.
Stop the humans.
Plus, this is truly a game that is best played with two players. While it might not be as well known as Pac-Man or Galaga, but XYBOTS deserves a spot in your arcade gaming history. You can find it on collections like Atari compilations, and if you're lucky, you might stumble across a cabinet at a retro arcade. Let me discuss some interesting facts about XYBOTS. XYBOTS was developed by Atari Games, known for creating many influential arcade titles. Of course, who doesn't love an Atari game? The genre of XYBOTS is considered a third-person shooter, and it has a maze-like structure. Another interesting fact is the perspective. The game features a unique pseudo-3D person perspective, where the players control the character moving through mazes from behind. XYBOTS also supported two-player cooperative gameplay, making it one of the early games with co-op functionality. Players control either Major Rock Hardy or Captain Ace Gunn, two futuristic soldiers. Let's talk about the storyline. The premise revolves around fighting an army of robots known as the XYBOTS in a dystopian future. XYBOTS had a health system. Unlike many other games of its time, XYBOTS features a health bar rather than a one-hit kill system. That was unusual for the time this game was made. The game XYBOTS also includes an in-game currency system, and that allows players to collect coins from defeated enemies. Players can use the collected coins to purchase upgrades such as increased health, extra ammo, and improved weapons. The game is divided into a series of maze-like levels, each filled with XYBOTS and obstacles to navigate. At the end of certain levels, player may encounter boss characters that are more challenging to defeat than your regular enemies. Power-ups are scattered throughout levels, including speed boosts and shielding for temporary invincibility. While it wasn't a blockbuster success, XYBOTS gained a cult following due to its innovative gameplay and cooperative mechanics. The game has been ported to many home systems, including Atari Lynx, Commodore 64, Amiga, ZX Spectrum, and others. There are many different types of XYBOTS, each with different attack patterns and movement behaviors. The camera system of this game, each player's view is shown on a split screen, even in the two-player mode, which is unusual for arcade games of the time. XYBOTS does not have an end game. Like most arcade games, you travel through the game until you either run out of health or quarters. The legacy of XYBOTS. XYBOTS is considered a precursor to more modern third-person shooters. With its innovative camera perspective and maze-like level design, it was definitely an influence for later games. Alright, and that's all for today's episode of Papa Brad's Gaming. If you've played XYBOTS or you're planning to check it out after watching this video, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell to stay up to date on all of the latest retro gaming and arcade content. Thanks for watching, and remember, the arcade is where legends are made. Keep gaming, and I'll see you next time, and as always, stay legit.